family money, this a triple threat. Really started with nothing, had to manifest. If you don't know your worth, they gon' give you less. Why they envy me? Cause I'm the best. MVP. My legacy is how they remember me. And I know success brings your enemies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, Triple Threat Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bruce, aka Detroit Mogul.
Your co-host, Brian Keys, aka BK609.
And your other host, MVP Vic.
So we got a special episode today. First off, before we get into it, I want to make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. If you're watching this or listening to this, I should say, from Apple Podcasts, if you listen to this on Stitcher, wherever you listen to this on, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that way you can make sure you're notified of when episodes drop. All right. So again, we got a very special podcast episode today. We're going to be talking about what? Airbnbs today, Brian?
Not just Airbnb, just short-term rental in general.
Short-term rentals.
Exactly.
And, who better off to talk about this topic than the MVP himself?
The MVP of Bnb. So Vic, tell us, man, what's good? Like, let us know, like, how do you get started with the short-term rental business?
All right. So I personally got started using my own home. The first house I bought, I lived by myself, had 3 bedrooms, so 2 spare rooms that weren't doing anything. So I was always working, and at the time I was actually working overnight. So I was like, all right, well, let's try it, because I had considered doing Airbnb. I was like, all right, let me try it out, see how it goes.
Was the overnight joint when you was a dancer?
Nah, not that one. That was after that.
That's funny.
And I worked in the day when I was a dancer. So, yeah.
The fact that he was a dancer is hilarious, but
yeah,
that's another story.
Another episode. But yeah, so I started like that. Got a few bookings, started making some money, and I was like, okay, well, imagine if I did this with a complete property.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly, I got tired of people being in my space. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead, get a property. So ended up getting a property. And I pretty much just kept building from there. I owned the first 3, and after that I started doing corporate leases. So
all right, so let me run back. So the first one, you said you had 2 extra rooms. They were staying there while you were staying there?
Yeah.
How did you even feel comfortable with bringing strangers to your home?
So I was gone
okay,
when they were here.
Got you.
When I was here, then they were gone. So it kind of worked out just because of my work schedule at the time.
I was about to say, because,
Yeah.
you come home to your crib and somebody, getting down with one of their ladies or something.
Yeah. And that's why I said I tried it out, and then it got to the point where I was like, all right, I think I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Let's I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate a
because I don't even like out of town company for that.
You know what I'm saying?
You got about 3-4 days family.
Facts.
Know that.
And these were all short. I never allowed more than I think 3 days. I said it's like the max.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
Any weird experiences with that?
Yeah.
Any stories?
Honestly, nah.
No?
Everybody was cool, and I think the reason why is because they knew that I still lived there.
Oh, that makes sense.
And it was only so they had access to 2 bedrooms, and then the downstairs. My room was always locked.
Okay.
I had a lock on my door, so nobody went in my room.
Gotcha.
I ain't sharing that. But yeah, so they had access to the bedrooms and then the downstairs, but they were pretty much gone the whole time. So
okay, that's not bad. All right, so you got 3 of them. You used your credit to get those? Is that what you leveraged, or?
So the first two properties I bought, I utilized a VA loan.
Okay.
The second one, I went conventional. So what I did was use equity from my first home to purchase my third.
Gotcha.
So essentially that's what paid for.
So people that's watching, they might ask, what is a VA loan specifically?
So VA loan is basically a loan that for veterans, it's beneficial because you don't have to make a down payment. So if you're in the military, if you're a veteran, and you have access to a VA loan, you're doing yourself a great disservice if you don't utilize it.
I kind of want to join the military now just for that.
Man, listen, I'm mad at myself that I never did that just to take advantage of that and not have to pay that down payment.
Right.
Because, you know,
that 20%, man.
the things you could do with that money.
For real.
Yep.
Okay, so so fast forward, you got 3 of them. You went 2 VA, 1 conventional. But then you said you got into doing corporate leases. So with that, like, you have to put money down on that. How does that work out?
So corporate leases work just like as if you were to go rent an apartment. Same process.
Okay.
So you pay, whatever deposit they have. If they require a deposit, first month's rent, application fee. That's pretty much it.
So in other words, you don't have to own it or own a property in order to do short-term rentals.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I got you. So how long does it take from the minute you sign that lease or that mortgage to get the property up and running for whatever corporate, whatever leasing situation you decide?
So depending on the size, my window that I give myself is 7 to 10 days. So, of course, I want to be done. I don't want a month to go by and I have to pay the rent.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want anything coming out of my pocket.
Okay.
So the short-term rentals, the guests that come and stay, they pay for all rent, all utilities, everything like that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then profit on the back end.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then profit on top.
Gotcha.
So with doing the corporate leases and things like that, when it comes to getting everything up running as far as cost, right? Because there's a cost investment, I should say, that has to do with the things you have to put into the property to get it all ready. What's a budget? Somebody's watching this. What's a budget you like to stay around? Or somebody, and what you suggest, if it's lesser than, lower than what you spent for somebody that's watching?
So starting off for we'll say a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking somewhere between about 5,000 and 7,000, and that's furnishing, and that's used furniture.
Oh,
That's another thing.
Key right there. Used furniture.
Why buy brand new furniture for somebody else to come mess it up?
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
So used furniture, you can get decent used furniture. Facebook Marketplace, offer up. Craigslist if you don't find it other place, but typically I get everything Facebook Marketplace and offer up.
Okay.
So how has your lifestyle changed since hopping into the short-term rentals?
It's changed a lot actually. For starters, more freedom because I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job. I had a government job doing IT work. I was able to leave that. I was able to exceed what I was making there, my salary there, which was a good paying job.
Right.
So just being able to have that freedom, being able to be in control of all 24 hours of my day.
Nice.
So I think that was the biggest difference. And then, of course, having the extra income is always nice.
So I know the Super Bowl money was crazy, bro.
Oh, man.
I hate to ask you figures, but can you throw some of the numbers out there from the Super Bowl money you made?
All right.
I feel like those are the numbers that you used to pull me in. Not that. But when I heard them numbers, I was like,
and just a little context for people that's watching is that Vic and Brian both have Airbnb together.
correct.
Right? And so that's what he's talking about. He's talking about, once he heard the numbers from Super Bowl, Brian eyeballs popped up and said, hold on, wait.
Yes.
Wait.
I will say this. Vic definitely talked me into getting my first Airbnb. I have not I haven't clipped my wings yet and flown out there on my own yet. You know, I jumped in there with him, you know, but he has definitely taught me some gems that's definitely gonna make me successful. And I'm gonna drop one more dime on you. I don't know if he told y'all or not, but he got a course coming that's gonna give y'all the gems that he gave me.
Absolutely.
And when I tell you, it's stuff in there that you, like, a lot of people look at this stuff, Airbnb, short-term rentals, whatever, and Turo, whatever, and they're like, oh man, I can do this. I can Google it all myself. But the key to these courses is it's going to tell you stuff that you're not going to think of.
Facts.
It's going to save you money by giving you those gems that's going to have you cut those corners of wasting money on stupid stuff. And when I tell you this dude's course, this dude is so meticulous.
Yeah.
We gotta love, hate big little brother, because I'm older.
Right.
But he treats me like I'm the younger brother, calling me at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Where your ass at?
Right.
But the point is, I respect and I appreciate it, because I'm telling you, when I tell you there's some gems in this class,
Facts.
this course, you got to get that course. But he gonna talk to y'all about the course a little bit. But answer the question, my brother.
Yeah. Super Bowl. What was it?
What were the numbers?
All right, I'll give you a number for one property.
Uh-huh.
About 8,500.
Did y'all hear that? Now, this is what he's talking about in one property, right?
Wow.
Now, I'm gonna give you a number in the property we have together in its very first month, which was what, last month, right? Was it last month? It was last month.
Yeah.
This is August. Mm-hmm. So July, over $5,000.
Wow.
Over $5,000.
And that's why Airbnb is so much better than just being a landlord.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Think about it right now. This is the thing. The people right now that are landlords, some of them, they struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting their rent because legally a tenant doesn't have to pay their rent and have to worry about getting forced out or eviction. This is why I tell people to invest in Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because it's so much more profitable. It's people traveling. We're in Tampa Bay, home of the Super Bowl champions.
Tampa Bay.
Right? So all the traffic of people coming in, and y'all got perfect location, y'all Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Less hassle, way more money.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
So I got a complex question for you. Would you prefer owning the property or leasing the property?
At this point,
pros and cons.
Okay. So at this point in time right now, the way the market is, leasing.
Okay.
Because everybody that's purchasing properties right now is overpaying. Market's going to correct itself at some point. So everybody's overpaying right now. So it doesn't really make sense to me. However, the ownership is still, so like my intention anyway, me personally, I want to own at least 2 properties at all times.
Okay.
The pros of owning a property is just the ownership. If something goes wrong, if Airbnb somehow implodes, then you still have a property that you own that you can create some type of cash flow from, and you're also building equity from it.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. Because like I said, my first property paid for my future property.
Yeah.
And also took care of numerous other things.
Right.
So that's the pros of owning. The pros of actually leasing, though, is you don't have the headache of having to deal with all the maintenance. So if AC goes out, hot water heater goes out, you're not responsible. The landlord or property management company is.
Makes sense.
So you have that coverage.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, the cool thing I want to mention to everybody that's watching too, is that you don't just do, that's why it's called short-term rental, because it's not just Airbnb.
Correct.
You got other sites that you're using to get bookings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So most people, when they think about short-term rentals, they immediately think Airbnb.
Right.
Airbnb is the biggest platform. However, there are others. You have Vrbo, you have Booking.com, Expedia. All of these platforms, you can upload your listings, your properties on there, and people book through those as well.
Yeah.
And the reason it's good to do that is because everybody doesn't use Airbnb.
Right.
There may be somebody that had a bad experience with Airbnb and they say, no, I'm not using them anymore. I'm going to use Vrbo.
Yeah.
If you don't have your property on there, you're missing out on that money.
Right.
So you have experience with all of them, right?
Correct.
Which one do you prefer?
I think Airbnb is the best.
Do they pay the most?
Yeah, I would say, actually, I'll put it this way. So Airbnb, they only take 3%.
Wow.
So
3%,
Booking,
that's crazy.
yeah, 3%. So the guests actually pay a lot of fees on their end.
Oh, gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.
So most of the money that Airbnb
I wish
gets comes
Turo was like that.
yeah, right. Booking.com is another one that takes a very small percentage. I actually think it might be slightly less than 3%.
Okay.
But the only thing about that is you don't have as much control over the type of guest that you have.
Mm,
So Airbnb, everybody gets rated.
right.
A guest stays at a property, the host gives them a rating up to 5 stars. They leave a review. So when they try to book with me, I can see those reviews. I can see those their rating.
Yep.
So I know basically what type of guest they are before they even get here.
Gotcha.
So I can kind of pick and choose, the guests that I allow to stay. Of course, if they have a 1-star rating,
Nah, no
and
ways,
I'm not about to approve their stay. Whereas you go somewhere like a Booking.com, it's not really as structured.
Oh, okay.
So you can have just anybody that book.
Gotcha.
Now, as long as you have the right policies, procedures in place, then you should be good with protecting yourself, protecting your
I was just
property.
gonna ask you that. 'Cause I know people are watching this that's like, yo, this sounding good, the money sounds good, stuff like that. But they're like, how can I protect, my property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work out if someone, spills some stuff on your carpet or break stuff in the house? How does that work?
So with the two larger platforms, Airbnb and Vrbo, they both give hosts up to $1 million in coverage.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a lot.
So say somebody comes in and they punch a hole in your wall. You take pictures, submit the claim. So what they do is they tell you to submit it to the guest first. See if the guest will, pay what's owed. If they don't within like 72 hours, I believe, then it's escalated to Airbnb. They handle it.
Mm.
So Airbnb kind of steps in for the guests. So they'll make the payment and then they'll deal with the guests later.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. So give us your most positive experience with short-term rentals
Okay.
and your most negative.
Okay. Positive is always when you walk in after a guest checkout and you can't tell they stayed there.
Man.
It's just so much. Yeah, I don't got to call the cleaning crew
Yeah.
to come in. It's just simple, Negative experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I know what this one.
You might have a story for us.
Yeah. So negative experience. So I have a house. This is one that I own. And the guests, so they booked. I actually had hired an assistant right before. So before I jump into that, if somebody requests to book a property and they live in the area, I don't approve it.
Wow.
Why? If they live in the area, they want to have a party. Turn up. Baby, turn up. So if I see Tampa, Florida on their profile, I don't approve it.
Man.
So
That's judging the book by its cover though, man.
I gotta protect my property. Hey, all money ain't good money.
That's true.
So this particular instance, My assistant went in, approved a booking, and it happened to be somebody from Tampa. By the time I seen it, it was too late. It was already approved. They was set to check in. So I said, they checked in, and lo and behold, the very reason that I don't allow Tampa residents to book my properties, they had a party.
Of course.
So now at this property, I have cameras on the outside of my house. So I have a Ring doorbell on the front, and I have a camera on the side of the house that views the side and the back. So I can see the cars pulling up. I see people pulling up. So initially it was, I think they had probably like 3 or 4 cars. So I said, all right, I'm not gonna trip out. I'm gonna let them do their thing. But then more and more cars kept pulling up as the night went on. So I look at the camera, and there's cars lined all up and down the street on both sides. There's the backyard, cars all in the backyard.
Wow.
So I'm like, So I called him. I called a guest. Guest picks up, realizes it's me, hangs up. Mind you, I hear all the music and stuff in the background. Hey, they turned up. My neighbor next door actually texted me and said, hey, yeah, I just, it sounds like y'all are really whipping it up next door. But, I mean, if you're over there, then enjoy. But if not, I just want to let you know. I said, yeah, I'm aware. So what did I do? Contacted the guests. That was a no-go. I contacted Airbnb. They couldn't get in contact with the guests. So what Airbnb did was they canceled the reservation while they were there. So now at this point, they're trespassing.
Wow.
So now what I'm about to say, I do not recommend anybody go do. I pulled up to the house.
Oh man.
I pulled up to the house. I actually had one of my co-hosts here. He tried to talk me out of it.
As you should have.
He held me off for a little bit. I waited. He pulled up.
Yeah.
We walked up to the door at the same time.
I don't think I had the car in park before he hopped out the car.
Yeah,
He couldn't wait.
yeah. I was hot.
couldn't wait.
He couldn't wait to turn up on the
Yeah.
Couldn't wait.
So yeah, they're having this party. I'm talking got party light, got strobe lights,
Oh, wow.
got banners, got balloons, cake, everything.
Hold on. Not that it really matters. Were they white?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't think so.
So you
I
know
was saying, I
how
didn't think
this
so.
story is about to
Yeah,
go.
exactly. I know.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we pull up.
Mhm.
I walk straight through the front door. I have a keypad lock on my door. I use the keyless entry. It makes it easier for the guests. So yeah, I put in the code, walk straight through the front door. Everybody looking. Ain't nobody say nothing because it's a party.
They
So
like,
they don't realize who I am.
Exactly.
I asked, where's
Waukesha. Where's Waukesha?
where's the yeah, I said her name.
What did Waukesha?
And they said, oh, she's back there. So I walked to the back of the house. I said, all right, and mind you, there's people everywhere. So I don't know who I'm looking for. So I say, hey, where's so-and-so? Oh, she's right there. Oh. She looked at me. She said, can we step outside? She didn't want to be embarrassed. I said, step outside.
Right.
I said, you know what? Come on, let's step outside. She proceeds to try to explain all of this,
I'm about to say, what was her explanation?
making all these excuses. I didn't know. And
okay.
and blah, blah, blah. So mind you, we're on the back porch and we're talking. Fight breaks out.
Oh, no. Nope.
Fight breaks out on the side of the house.
Nope.
2 brothers fighting each other. This is why you don't allow parties in your Airbnb.
Mhm.
So anyway, this went on for a while. Police ended up coming, kind of, getting everything together. Took a while to get everybody out. It got a little rowdy, but the situation was handled. So Yeah, that was definitely by far the worst. But that's not something that matter of fact, I think other than that, I've had one other party, and it was a kid's birthday party. And they ended up cleaning the entire house after. I actually ended up letting them keep going. But yeah, that one was by far the worst experience.
Wow. Nah, that is OD. But shout out to you for being brave enough to go to the crib.
Hey, don't do that.
Nah,
It's not smart.
Because he was.
It's not smart.
He called me and said, "Hey, you might have to bail me out." I said, "Bruh, chill.
Oh, man.
Wait till I get there. I got you. Hold on."
Nah, because and see my main concern was I had a guest checking in the next day. So they were checking out at 11. I had another guest checking in right after them at 3.
Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah. I would have made sure too. Wow, that's crazy. So, we could talk about this all night, obviously, because there's so many different things where people getting into Airbnbs and short-term rentals. But that's the reason why you've put together this course, right? So I want to dive into this so that people that's watching this, they can get more information about it. They can tap in and get the course. So first off, what is the name of this course?
So the course is the MVP of Bnb.
Okay, and what can they learn from this?
And basically in this course, you're going to learn everything from A to Z. You're going to learn how to establish your business, your LLC, so that you can qualify for corporate leases.
Okay.
You're going to learn how to acquire property, whether it be by purchasing or by leasing. You're going to learn how to furnish the property, how to get it ready to actually go on these sites and ready to be rented out. And then you're going to learn how to implement processes that will automate everything. So that way it's actually passive income.
I love processes, man.
Nice.
Systems. I like to automate shit, so you talk my language.
Yeah. That's the key. That's the key, the passive income.
Facts. Okay, so we're gonna have the website. What's the website name?
The website is the MVP of Bnb.com.
Perfect.
And you can go on there. Course is $397 right now.
Oh, good pricing. I mean, that's very affordable.
For now.
Honestly, that's too cheap to be real with you.
For now.
That mean the price is gonna go up.
So I need to get into it now.
So hint.
Yeah. So make sure we're gonna have the links to that too in the show notes, as well as the description and the YouTube. So whatever you guys are watching it, make sure you tap in and get that ASAP before that price go up, because it's not staying. I'll tell them that's too low.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now from experience, I don't know the details of the course, but he has definitely showed me from point A to point Z. He showed me how to get the LLC. Told me about the business credit cards. He told me, how to pick a property, how to furnish it, all that. All that's going to be in the course from point A to point, from the smallest detail of what to send to your guests as a welcoming letter, what to tell them when it's time to get the hell out.
It's time to go.
And like every, the instructions of, what's in the area and all the other stuff, that I gotta admit, I would say I'm probably the first person who has had some experience with the course without actually seeing the content. I already know you. And
BK got the one-on-one coaching.
I got the one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
I got the first one-on-one, but what better way to do it than to do it with your team,
Right,
so.
facts.
And another gem real quick with the Airbnb course. So if you're familiar with Turo, what better way to pair the two?
Facts.
Anybody that travels out of town, they need what to get around.
Facts.
Scooter.
It's in the course though. Check it out.
That's crazy. So listen, we're gonna make sure we have the links to all of that in the show notes. We'll make sure as well as if you watch this from YouTube, we'll also have that in the description for you guys to tap into the course. Listen, it's $397. It's a freaking no-brainer price. You need to go get it right now. Just don't even think twice about it. Just go get it, invest in it. It's gonna be worth your money. You're gonna get your investment back as soon as you put all of the steps into action, and you'll start to get your own Airbnb. So
absolutely.
Vic, man, I appreciate you tapping in and just giving the listeners and the guests so much gems tonight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I want to see everybody eat.
That's
But
what
look,
it's about.
y'all need to stay tuned to part 2. I think part 2, we're going to dive a little bit more in detail, right?
Just a little bit.
Just a
more.
little bit.
A little bit more.
We got to save something for the course, but
Yeah, we're gonna dive a
we'll
little
dive
more.
a little bit more in detail.
So listen, again, appreciate y'all listening, watching, checking into this wherever you guys are listening to. Matter of fact, what we want you to do too is if you watch this on YouTube, make sure you hit the comments. Let us know how you enjoyed this episode as well. Make sure you also subscribe to the podcast, whether you listen on Stitcher, iTunes, wherever. If you listen on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like button as well. We'll have all our Instagrams as well on the show notes and the description, so you can make sure you tag us. Let us know where you're watching this from. Let us know where you listen to us. Tag us in your Instagram stories. We will repost it. Okay,
Indeed.
we will repost it. So tag us and let us know where you're checking in from. We appreciate y'all. Once again, I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bruce, aka Detroit Mogul.
Brian Keys, a.k.a. BK609.
Vic Gurley, also known as MVP Vic. And we signing off.
Peace.
Peace.
I used to look for the rainy days to help wash my pain away. Now I don't make a payment late. New estate got my name on the gate. This what my granny call amazing grace. Let me park the IA so I can take the rave. You can do it too, it just start with faith.